I think it's at 5 minutes late. And if it is 5 minutes late, trust me, it happens. It's just one of those things that happen. And oftentimes you can't really do much about that. I mean, you got to roll with the punches, boy. You got to roll with the punches. Guys, let's gather around. Sometimes I love to roll up my sleeves. Does anybody else feel that way about rolling up sleeves? Do you? If you do, just tell me in the comments. If you're a roll up sleeve sort of person, just say it in the comments. It'll make me feel like I'm blending. All righty. Please tell me in the comments if you can hear me loud and clear. You know what I like to do. Let me tell you what I like to do. Wish I could watch live. Why can't you watch live? It's live now. Can you not see this? Please tell me in the comments, guys. The other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to avoid pointing, because somebody said to me the other day, pointing appears confrontational. It's better to do this or to do that, never to do this, loud and clear. All righty. Thank you so much. Let me just double check my, I use this phone as a monitor. Guys, live vlogging 101. There's several things that are happening when you're watching me. I'm constantly aware of how I look. Not that I'm a good looking guy, but I worry about that. I constantly worry about my posture. I can't slouch because that makes me look older than I am. Okay. It's bad enough that I'm 55, but you look older if you slouch. So I have to constantly sit up straight, make sure that my back is straight, and also to make sure that the lighting's right. And then I've got to worry also about the sound, because if the sound's not good, then I lose you. They teach you on these tutorials that many audience members can stomach a bad picture as long as there's good sound, but they can never stomach bad sound even if you have good picture. Did that make sense? Tell me in the comments if that made sense. Right. Let me just double check here. Let me just make sure that I can see myself. Okay. Oh dear. I don't know. Are we good? Tell me we're good. And I am live. Okay. I think so. How's the signal? Is the signal good? All right. Let's get into it. Guys, I'm over here at Simoson Building. 8585 Simon Mwewa Lane, and I'm in my little, this room doubles as an office, a real office, and then I have lights and a few cameras in here, and anytime, as is my custom, anytime I feel that there's something important that I feel that I can sort of say, I say it, and a few of you give me the privilege to do that, and you show up, and sometimes you listen, other times you spectate, and that's fine. No one has a problem with that. All right. First thing I want to talk to you about is, as many of you know, DJ Kandeke. The word Kandeke means a plane, like a little Cessna. You know what a Cessna is? Is that what they call that? Cessna? This is me pretending there's somebody off camera when there is nobody there. It's just me in here. Kandeke means a small plane, okay? And DJ Kandeke, who is YoMap's management, YoMap's representative, recently announced that from now on, YoMap's fee will run at $225,000, which is about $8,080. $8,080, somewhere there. Tell me in the comments if that's what it was. It $225,000 or $255,000? Tell me in the comments. For those of you that are watching, and as you know, Yomaps is one of Zambia's most renowned, most celebrated musical icon in this country. I've lived a long time. I've seen them all. Everyone from Anamwale to all the present ones. Yes, 200, was it 255? It's $255,000. I mean, 255,000 kwacha, which is about 8,000 some odd dollars. Okay, that's what it's going to cost now for you to hire Yomaps. But before we get into that, let me just give you some backstory. I was saying that I've lived a long time and I've seen most of the Zambian artists in my lifetime, many of them. I remember Pongozi was a very popular figure. He had star quality, and when you saw him, he looked the part. He had this aura about him. But I must tell you that, no disrespect to any of the artists that we've had in Zambia from the past, and there are many, many good ones, many amazing ones. There's Danny Kaya, who I think is a legend. I mean, Danny is a legend. When he steps on stage, he's got that legendary quality about him. JK, all these guys, legends. But I must tell you that I have, in all of my lifetime, at least according to me, I have never seen a single artist that possesses the performance power of Yomaps. I've never seen it. If you look at his concerts, if you look at the body of work that he's done, if you look at his style of musical dexterity, and I think it's important at this point to sort of mention here, guys, and this is something that we don't talk about. Yomaps' message, if you look at his messaging, that guy is all about love, restoration, God's blessing, God's favor, family, perseverance, waking up and in anticipation of a brighter day. All of these attributes, all of these characteristical nuggets are found in all of his songs. So it's not like Yomaps is a gangster, a network is poor, is it? I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. It's not like Yomaps is a gangster, singing about killing people or doing this, that. No, his messaging is a positive message. Let's start there. And that we should be thankful for. But aside from that, he really does command a lot of recognition. Steve Martin once famously said that be so good that people can't help but take notice of you. Be so good that they can't ignore you. Yomaps is that good that we cannot ignore him. When you look at the size of his concerts, you look at the caliber, the quality of his videos, the quality of his collaboration. All of these things point to one fact and one fact alone, that yes, he's worth that. He's worth 255,000 kwacha. He's worth $10,000, $8,000, $9,000 per booking. He's worth that. Why? Because he earned it. That's why. There's no other reason. He earned it. And we are proud of you, Yomaps. We really are. And this is his time. You have to strike while the iron is hot. You know that phrase? Strike while the iron is hot. And the iron is hot right now for Yomaps. He's on billboards everywhere. Oh, what is that? You can't compare Danny to Yomaps when it comes to on stage. Well, we're not comparing. We're just saying. Is the broadcast clear? Somebody says the broadcast is not clear. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. That if you want to discourage a vlogger, tell them the broadcast is bad. The mood changes. All right. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, Yo Maps has earned his ability. He's earned his right to charge that level, that fee, because his body of work, it speaks for itself. And I think that the thing about success is that, and this happens all over the world. It's not just indigenous to Zambia. When you're a struggling artist, people want you to succeed. People encourage you to succeed. People are rooting for you to win. People want you to succeed until you do. The moment you become a success, the haters come out. Hey! Chiyomaps. Everybody goes through that. That's just the circle of life. That's just the way it is. And I think it's commendable that he has managed to navigate through this storm of haters, when really there's nothing to hate about Yo Maps. There's everything to love, honestly, really. All right, lastly, these two kids from Kalulushi, these are the kids that went on social media and they took it upon themselves to insult the head of state. Now, let's talk about the culture of insele in our country. I can only draw from my experience. I know some of you don't like that when I do that, but it's my experience. Like the old saying goes, you can't argue with a man with an experience. My experience, I grew up in a very traditional home. My parents taught us you cannot insult anyone older than you. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be insulting, is what my dad used to say. My father used to say, a person insults because they don't know how to express themselves. So they resort to insele. Notice a person who always is insulting, they're not really saying much. They're just jumping around in one spot. They're not saying anything. So a person insults, a person cusses, a person uses profanity because they don't know how to express themselves. They don't. But aside from that, I grew up in a home that pretty much said, you have to respect your elders. You may not agree with them, but you have to give them a level of respect. Why? Because therein lies your blessing. When an older person imparts blessing on you and speaks life into you, speaks blessing into you, that's good for you. But if you are insolent, if you are using profanity, TikTok, inenda papa, I'm telling you. Chila mpapusha ukumono mwaiche. Ale tukaba kulu. It just doesn't compute. And I know a lot of that has to do with upbringing. Some of these kids, they don't have a father figure. I'm a big firm believer that, and I'm not preaching to you, I'm just saying the facts as they are. Because somebody on here is going to, well, you think you're perfect. You think you're better than, no, I'm not, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm not perfect. I am just as flawed as you are. I'm just as fractured as you are. You and I are in the same boat of imperfection. Let's be clear about that. But I find it strange. And let me encourage fathers out there. I'm a father. I have 4 children. And let me encourage you fathers. Teach your children to have respect. Teach them that. They're not going to learn it by spontaneous combustion. It's not going to happen by osmosis. It happens through two methods. You teach them and then you live it. You live what you're teaching them. Children learn quicker that way. They hear you say it, they see you do it. If you say, respect elders, be a person that respects elders. Don't use profanity. Don't. And these kids on TikTok, Facebook that are putting themselves in harm's way, guys, you must understand, there is a social digital framework that exists There are laws that hedge the public from you that think that you can insult from 6 to 6. There are laws. There's a penal code, for goodness sake. What's a penal code? I don't even know what that is. There are sets of laws that you and I have to abide by. And if you think that you can go on social media and do whatever the heck you want and insult the head of state, whoever, and think that you can get away with it, you can. The moment they track you down, you are in a heap of trouble. Guys, understand this, and this is the last point I'm going to make. The digital divide between you and the law is very, very thin. Let's be clear about that. They can get you. So you can be all smart and smirky and say, oh, no, they can't. Well, once they get you, those two boys in Kalulush, that young man named Waimi, those guys are in big problems. And it's got nothing to do, it's not a human rights issue. It's not a human rights issue. It's got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do within operating within the confines of the law. If the law says you're wanting in that area, oh honey, they will clamp you down. They will throw you underneath the bus and throw away the key. That's the world we live in. You should say something. You know why? Because it's real. It's real. Yep. That's what it is. All right. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. 20 minutes. That's not bad. Bye.